How are you? I'm so happy to see you.
Oh, Natalie. And then as you come on the screen, I'm like, oh my God. And the Dior like fantasy, all of a sudden I'm hit with those Peter Phillips red lips.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm so happy. I can't believe I was like tearing up listening to you talking about me because I was like, I grew up with you. And then when we got to work together, it was such an amazing, amazing experience for me and so exciting for me. And I remember that so fondly. Like I remember so many details of like being like 13 in the bath, or maybe 14 or 15 in the bathroom at the premiere together and feeling like so grown up.
You know, I'm reading about you, and I read this thing about how, you know, you didn't have an easy time in school because you would go out to movies and then you would come back and just have an awkward time with like other kids at the school. And I haven't really read that from a lot of people, and that was totally my experience. I really related to that.
I mean, I think people get bullied for all sorts of reasons, and I guess that's a lucky reason to get to be bullied for because you're doing something that you love. And I mean, if you're doing something that you love, you know, I do think that that's sort of what like creates your empathy.
Exactly.
But like being on that side of the teasing certainly makes you never want to make anyone feel like that ever again.
Well, and the irony is they would always say to me, you think you're so special. And I really read that in what you said in the copy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what they would say to me. And I was like, I not only don't think I'm special, but you are absolutely confirming I am not.
I know, it's so sad. And it's also so like, you know, young people should be able to be proud of their accomplishments. And I was like, oh God, I should just keep my head down all the time, which isn't a way to go through life either.
But then you were also voted in high school most likely to appear on Jeopardy.
Yes, I was like the biggest nerd at school. I was like known for always having like my hands covered in whiteout and like being in all the dorky classes. So
Hashtag hot nerd.
No, what a good. You complimented the headphone out of my ear. Thank you.
Well, you know, we're all trying to challenge ourselves in our own ways, but I love that you are known to have said that you were not willing to give up an education in order to remain an actress or be in your job, that it was worth the risk for you to step aside and seek out a Harvard education. I have so much respect for that.
Yeah, it was funny because I don't know that it was really like it didn't feel like such a big choice to me. I feel like I only became aware that it was like a choice when people started asking me about it in interviews. Like in my family, it was so like, you just go to college, that's something you do. But I'm so glad I did it.
You are so like, you're the hot nerd, you're smart, you're well-read, you're worldly, you're invested in things. You're just such a aware person. And then I love, last night, I'm so proud to tell you, Natalie, and you're such a good mom, and I know you work with Children's Hospital, which is such an important, vital institution. And I was reading your book to my daughters last night, and we read all 3 stories, and this is our copy. And I know that gender and mixing that up and bringing sort of a new generation of gender awareness and kind of getting out of the stereotypical roles that we think of with fairy tales. And as I was reading the book, I was doing a male voice for the tortoise. And my daughter Olive said, Mom, you're doing a male voice for the tortoise, but it said the tortoise was a female.
I love it. I really like appreciate that you're sharing it with your kids. That makes me so excited. And yeah, it's I wanted to write the book to make more characters of different genders that kids can relate to. I think it's how we develop empathy, is reading, caring about characters, watching TV or movies. Like, we spend time with the characters, we feel their feelings. And I was noticing in all my kind of classic kids books that the characters were almost all male, even in the animal kingdom, which of course that's not how it is in nature. So I set out to retell some of the classic stories because I didn't want to throw out these stories that I grew up with, that my parents had read me, that had been passed down from generation to generation. But I wanted to be able to do something that that represents the world as it is, gender-wise, and allows kids, male and female characters, to relate to.
I really love this book, and I think your writing is just extraordinary, and that's something I value so much. And as such an amazing reader as you are, I love your Instagram posts, the consistency of that with all your books. And actually, I'd really love to turn to Jonah Larson, who's someone who, he and I have a very shared philosophy that books are available to people. And there's something that we all have the ability to educate ourselves from. He would love to review your book if that's okay.
Oh, thank you. That is amazing. A huge honor.
He is just the most wonderful, book-loving young gentleman, and I can't wait to bring him in. So we're going to go to a quick commercial, and when we come back, Jonah Larson. But quick sidebar, by the way, when it comes to gender roles, I totally agree with you, and that's why I wanted to go out and make like a Charlie's Angels and have women get to do what boys do. And I don't think that there's anything I'm anticipating as much in this world and in this life as you as Thor.
Oh, thank you. It's very exciting.
Well, when you went to Comic-Con and held that up and that photo went, I mean, just since that day, I've been waiting to see you do this. So I can't wait.